Hey guys, just wanted to do a final conclusion video on the Kalk King. We've had this set up and running for some days now. I have calibrated the probe, set the pH limit, which I think I set to 8.1. We're just going to switch over. Yeah, 8.11 is the what the probe, what the pH limit is set to. I've gone into the adjustments from this. You have to basically turn it off, turn it on, and you have to then press the button a number of times depending on what parameter you need to change. So the default mode is not to use the pH probe for its dosing, and I obviously wanted that turned on, and it's been working perfectly. You can see hopefully that this is in mix mode at the moment, so it's mixing the Kalk gases, and then it goes a little bit clearer at the top, and this clearer solution is what would be added to the tank as required. It's really doing its own thing. Sometimes it stirs, sometimes it doesn't. I've got the bypass hours set to 0. Everything else is as standard except for the pH probe is being used, and that's about it really. It's been working fine. The only thing I would say is it's probably limited use on a very small tank excuse me, like the Kent Marine, mainly because of the low evaporation rates. The calcium usage in this is not high, and it's probably going to work out for me, but in other situations, depending on what you've got in a small tank, it may just not be able to compensate enough because of the low evaporation. But other than that, I think this is going to be absolutely fine. Watch the other videos for the modifications I've made, but the my initial thoughts about this being very noisy were unfounded. Once there's water in it, we haven't heard this running at all. It just sits there quietly, does its own thing. There's not really any issues on the side of the tank in the corner of the room. You may want to set it up on the other side, or perhaps on the back, or on a sump, depending on your setup. So apart from the complaints about the bad printing and dirt and the fact that it doesn't come with UK plugs and things like that, it's been absolutely fine. I think I can probably recommend this to anyone that might consider one. It's not cheap, but it's replaced my RO top-up system and is keeping the pH pretty much under control. It now varies between 7.8 and 8.1 depending on the time of day, so it's raised the pH, and it's pretty stable as it was before, but the pH before this was a little bit lower. The only problem we've had is the Senai has decided that the trim values won't work for some reason. I'm going to need to email Senai. The temperature needs trimming and the pH needs trimming, because the Senai thinks the pH is varying between 8.1 and 8.3, which it isn't. I've got 2 pH meters running on this, and both have been calibrated, and they're both running very much exactly the same reading. 8.01 on that one, and 7.9. Actually, they're normally closer than that. That's it's only 0.06 out, but yeah, normally almost spot on. So yeah, something wrong with the Senai system. I don't know whether it's a Windows 10 issue, but I've got to get that sorted, otherwise the Senai is reporting the temperature incorrectly and the pH value is wrong as well. Other than that, I think all good. Recommend it if you've got that sort of level of money to to spend on your tank, but just do bear in mind you probably need a larger tank to really benefit from the Kalk King. There are some tips in the booklet on how to supersaturate the solution. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was by adding some white vinegar to the solution, but read the book on that. But I don't want to go through all that performance. I'm happy as this is. But you can increase the pH value of the mixed solution for smaller tanks if required, but that's too much trouble for me, and I'm quite happy at the readings that we're currently getting. So yeah, that's the end of that. If anything happens, I'll update you, but at the moment it's all good.